In a charming little English town, nestled among rolling hills and winding lanes, there stood a cozy cottage where the Thompson family made their home. The whitewashed walls and thatched roof made it look like something straight out of a storybook. And inside it was filled with all the warmth and love a family could share. One peaceful afternoon, the quiet was suddenly shattered by high-pitched screams coming from upstairs. Mrs. Thompson, who had been preparing tea in the kitchen, dropped her tea towel and rushed up the stairs, her heart pounding. "What's wrong? What's happened?" she called out, bursting into her children's bedroom. There she found little Emma and Jack, huddled together on top of Jack's bed, pointing frantically at a small dark spot on the wall. "Mom, there's a huge spider!" Emma shrieked. "It's dangerous! Kill it, please!" Jack added, his voice trembling with fear. Mrs. Thompson couldn't help but smile as she looked at the tiny house spider, quietly minding its own business in the corner. "Oh, my dears," she said softly, sitting down on the bed beside them. "There's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. That little spider is actually one of our home's best friends." The children looked at their mother in disbelief. "But, Mum," Emma protested, "spiders are scary." Mrs. Thompson shook her head and explained, "These little house spiders are completely harmless to us. In fact, they're like tiny superheroes that protect our home. You see," she continued, "they catch and eat all sorts of unwanted insects that might try to make their way into our house, like flies and mosquitoes that could bother us during summer nights. And in our garden, they're even more helpful, catching pests that might damage our beautiful flowers and vegetables." Jack's eyes widened with interest. "You mean they're like natural pest control?" he asked. "Exactly," his mother replied. "They're nature's own little housekeepers, working quietly behind the scenes to keep our home clean and safe." The children slowly began to see their eight-legged housemate in a different light. Emma even leaned in a bit closer to observe how the spider was carefully tending to its delicate web. "I suppose it is quite small," she admitted. "And it does look rather busy with its work." From that day forward, the Thompson children became proud protectors of their house spiders. They would gently shoo away anyone who tried to harm them, explaining how these tiny creatures were actually their friends. And sometimes, on quiet afternoons, they would sit and watch their little spider allies at work, marveling at how something so small could be so helpful to their home. The cottage became a peaceful haven where humans and spiders lived in harmony, each playing their part in maintaining the balance of their cozy little world. And to think it all started with a scream and ended with understanding, proving that sometimes the things we fear the most just need a little patience and knowledge to become our trusted friends.